a country that has continued to perpetuate a culture of lies, of course, that human rights record is quite deplorable, and many other things. And now the Anglican Church is throwing their weight behind those statements by the Catholic Church.
Yes, so the Anglican Church of Kenya has joined other religious leaders in criticizing President William Ruto administration. And in a show of unity, SEK Archbishop, that is Jackson Ole Sapit, yesterday backed a recent statement by Catholic bishops condemning what they describe as escalating misrule, impunity, and widespread rights violations. Now, the bishops called out the Kenya Kwanza administration for perpetuating a culture of lies, including failure of to honor campaign pledges and imposing punitive and exploitative policies.
That's right. Mr. Sapit urged the government to address pressing concerns, for example, the issues with SHIF, inadequate education funding, and of course to ease the tax burden. He said, quote, "We, the ACK, fully support the Catholic bishop's statement to the nation. We believe that the government is yet to turn around the country and steer it in the right direction. Calling church leaders names or dismissing the bishop's statement as misleading, erroneous, and false is itself dishonest. The bishops have spoken the minds of Kenyans and faithfully expressed the truth as things are on the ground. No amount of attacks or intimidation will deter the church from calling out evil and speaking truth to power."
And I think that's something that we saw a few days ago. We had some of the Kenya Kwanza parliamentarians who are seen to criticize the government. We also saw Gladys Bose-Sholay also speak and say that the job of the church is to actually to lead on spiritual matters and not on leading the country or a president. But during the campaign,
yes,
I remember that the church was used as one of the pivoting points.
Platforms, very true. Yeah, when it's time to campaign, the church is okay for politics. But when they speak against you, suddenly the church should maintain only spiritual matters.
Speaking of which, we remember during the protests, young men and women actually even hit the church podiums and platforms and even just to make sure that they get to express themselves, and told the church, tafadhali tuache receive pesa kutoka kwa politicians. And of course it went down. Right now we see Catholic Archdiocese of Nairobi rejecting money from the president and the Nairobi governor. The amount in question is 600,000, and of course another Catholic bishop has rejected 5.6 million donation from the president. This is just about a few hours ago, and where they were actually seen. The deputy president was meant to give an amount in cash sent on one to one church, and of course the president also had given a very heavy donation, and the church has rejected that.
I'll forever ask, why do our leaders have millions of shillings to donate to every weekend? Where is that money coming from? The math just does not add up. I think it's time to be critical. I'm glad that churches are waking up. They've been used as conduits for so many things over election periods and even outside of elections, and they are the mouthpiece for so many people, so it's kind of worrying when they are quote unquote in the pocket of the state. But if they're actually waking up and rallying behind people, I think we can actually effect change in this country. And let's ask ourselves, why do you have 5.6 million to give away on a random Sunday?
Yeah, there's that. But why do you have that amount of money to give towards church that is already built? Catholic churches are actually supported by the Vatican.
Very true.
Directly by the Vatican, and of course its congregants. So why do we have money to give as donations to churches, but we don't have money to back SHIF?